KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half one show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Koco Crew here, holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all of wrestling radio. That's right, boom, boom, here's Sugar Room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. That's right, kids, I'm back from my vacation. And of course, joining me down there in Sweet Home, Alabama, talk about Sammy Sinister. Good to see you there, brother. Yeah, keep going, Joe. Go. Yes.
I'm alive! I'm not dead. I am actually still a real person. And I am here. And I drank that way too fast and now I got a headache. Oh, God, I'm good. Woo! Wrestling! Let's do it! Yeah!
All right, kids, another NXT is in the books as they're building now towards the road to NXT Takeover Back to Brooklyn, because they use the number 2 because they're down. They're cool. They're hit. They got the chains with the diamonds.
That is the stupidest goddamn thing I have ever seen.
But you know, it's better late than never, because with the exception of two matches, it's like NXT is like, oh shit, we just got raided with the fucking draft, and we got week? Yeah. Oh shit, we got almost a week to go until we actually have to we got just over a week to go until we got to put on a special event. Oh shit, we need to get crack-a-lacking on that, because that's the whole way this whole event came off with me. I'm going to give it a tie. Of course, that's the first question we ask at every show. What do you give the show, a win, loss, or tie? I give it a weak tie, because I was just like, really? Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of this shit was slapped together. It just felt so slapped together, and you can actually tell. You know, this is where the undercard with NXT has really suffered, because they had their guys that they pushed, and they had some other guys just kind of there, just trying to tread in water. Well, now they're having to go. Those guys are going to have to step up now, and unfortunately, I don't think the undercard, they've got the star power to have to capture that magic they had last year in Brooklyn. Now, that's not to say that these guys aren't going to step up, because I hope they do. I really hope they step up, but I'm just saying, as far as on paper, there's only 2 matches I want to see. Why? Because they've fleshed out their characters. They've given them a lot of build-up. I care about them. The rest of them, I'm just like, okay, maybe it'll be good.
No, I don't know if I disagree, man. I'm going to give this show a weak win. I actually really enjoyed myself. But this is also the first time I've watched NXT in a long time that I knew I was going to get to talk about it with you guys. So I guess that alone made it a little more exciting for me. Uh-oh. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay, that's weird. It just told me my internet cut out, but it didn't. Anyway, I mean, I liked some of the matches. Amazingly enough, I thought Mojo Rawley actually had a decent match, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, man, the undercard, they're going to be good. I have no doubt that every match on this card is probably going to be damn good. I'm just not very excited for them. Like, I'm excited for SummerSlam weekend as a whole, because through multiple promotions, there is going to be some amazing matches, but NXT is probably one of the tertiaries compared to the other brands going on right now. So I can completely see. I mean, I'm excited for Brooklyn, but remember, we had to put our foot in our mouths. Remember, months ago, somebody had asked us in one of the comment times, "Hey," and this is before we literally knew anything. It was months before SummerSlam. They're like, "Hey, do you think Brooklyn's going to be, Takeover Brooklyn's going to be better than SummerSlam?" And we were like, without a fucking doubt, it's going to be better. Like, there's no way that SummerSlam's going to be better than NXT. And
you're like, and there goes Apollo Crews, and there goes American Alpha, and there goes Finn Balor, and there goes, you kind of see where I'm going here. We're just like, and there they go. And let's take a look at it here. The first thing we start out with is Bobby Roode comes out of William Regal's office. They shake hands, and Bobby Roode's, of course, got this, oh, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. I keep thinking about Flounder from Animal House. This is going to be great. Hey, I made that reference. Yes, I did. But anyway, they start out, and now I know if Dave Koco was here. Maybe he'll show up. I don't know. He's got the invite. I know I could have swore when I put in this first segment, I heard a scream, like, way off in the distance. I'm pretty sure I could hear Dave Koco screaming all the way from Tokyo, Japan. because they start off with a contract signing, which is the bane of Koco's existence.
He doesn't like contract signings?
Oh, he hates it with a passion. Like, I think he would I think he says that anytime you got a contract signing on a TV show, or particularly if it ends, it gets an automatic loss. Because, I mean, in a way, I don't blame them, because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're already contracted with WWE. They're contracted through NXT. And, the promotion tells you, okay, you are wrestling that person. You really can't say no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. They don't bother me too awful much. I think done right, they can build up a lot.
Well, is anybody going to go out there and go, you know what, fuck this. I'm not signing this. Fuck this title.
My favorite contract signing of all time was Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. And the reason I liked it is Finn Balor just cutting a promo, cutting it on him. And he's like, Joe, I'm going to do this. And Joe just walks out of the ring, signs it, and rocks right back out. And I was like, there you go. That's what you should do. And that pissed off him. They don't bother me too awful much.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but they're not my favorite.
By the way, did this show seem a little topsy-turvy here? You had, like, the faces acting like heels and the heels acting like faces? Because there was two incidents, and this was the first one. Is William Regal's like, okay, got the contract. You asked for your rematch, so sign here. And so, Bayley kind of gives like this, speech of like, my dream came true, last year, and I was the underdog. Then I became the champion. But you were my biggest challenge. And, last week and the last time I wasn't ready, but this time I will be. I looked because I woke up and I saw you holding my NXT Women's Championship. You know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to beat you this time, and I'm going to be the first ever 2-time NXT Women's Champion. Signs the contract. Asuka basically. And by the way, I will say this: Asuka's English is getting better.
It is. It's a lot better. I mean, because she has I know Shinsuke Nakamura's helping her a lot, and apparently she's taking a couple classes. It's still broken, and I can't fault her that she's trying to learn a new language, and she's gotten this far in less than a year.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that in itself. So I'm not going to count off like any points or anything for that, because believe me, I've tried. If you've ever tried to learn a different language, it's like, I don't know. It's like trying to pick it's trying to shoot like a bullet out of the sky while riding a horse blindfolded.
And the older you are when you try, the more difficult it becomes.
Oh, yeah.
So for old fucks like us, it's nigh impossible.
Yeah, it's nearly. So the fact that she's like in her 30s and is learning a new language here. So, I mean, it's still pretty good. But anyway, basically told her that, what, you don't have what it takes, but I do respect you. And then, so then she wanted to shake hands, but Bayley, of all people, said, like, no, I suggest, because last time you tried to do this at a contract signing, you want it flat on your back, so I suggest you take that hand, you pick up the pen, you sign the contract, and let's do this. And then, so she does, and then she tries to shake hands. Bayley won't shake her hand. In fact, knocks the hand away, pushes her out of the way, goes out of the ring, then comes back in, does a stare down, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I was like, I thought they were trying to make Asuka the heel out of this match, but Bayley, as much as I love her, I was like, dude, that's kind of like a dick move. I understand.
It was very heelish. I'm not even go so far as to say it was heelish. Excuse me. It was just a kind of a dick move. Like, it just that was bullshitty. Like, no one looked like a heel in there. She didn't look like a bad guy. She just looked like a sore loser. Which I guess if you want to get down to all a heel has to do is be unliked in that regard, yeah, it was a heel move. Bayley's still one of the most beloved superstars in probably the world right now, especially among young girls. Remind me at the end, I've got a story about when I was watching Bayley's last match. But yeah, no, I totally agree. This one in particular, more so than the other ones, Bayley just was kind of a fuck. Like, it didn't come across, if it had come across more, I'm prepared this time and I'm ready to beat you because I'm better than I was and I've overcame my shortcomings, it would have been great. It would have been like, yeah, she's the underdog again. But it didn't come off as an underdog. It came as, it's mine. I need it. And it just didn't work for her.
Yeah, go ahead and tell your Bayley story since we're talking about it, because this is the last time we're gonna mention these two.
Oh, okay. Well, real quick, guys, I haven't got to do one of these reviews in months, and that's because of my schedule at work. So I'm really, really sorry. I know I told you I was going to get y'all some more stuff, but I've been working 48 to 60-hour weeks, so they're killing me. But late last month, I had to go pick up my son from Florida, and whenever I do that, I stay at my dad's house, who also lives in Florida, just closer to me. And it was the weekend of the last pay-per-view. What the hell was the last pay-per-view?
The last NXT special? Or the...
No, the last just WWE pay-per-view.
Oh, shit. Was it not Backlash? It was, Payback? No.
Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds.
Yeah, so it was on Battlegrounds. And I'm watching, and I brought my PS4 with me, so me and all the kids could play, and then they'd run around and cause havoc. And I told Dad, like, hey, I want to do a review on this. I didn't get to. I really want to watch this. My dad's like, yeah, I love wrestling. I'll watch it with you. Well, I'm sitting there watching it, and my son comes in. He's like, what are you doing, Daddy? I'm like, I'm watching wrestling, buddy. He's like, oh. So he sat down and started watching it. One of the other kids came in, one of my younger nieces, like, what's this? Like, this is professional wrestling. She's like, oh. She sat down and started watching it. So about 20 minutes later, I have 9 kids all sitting in a row in front of the TV like ducks, hands on their knees and on their chins, just enthralled. And my second oldest niece, who will remain nameless, I'll go by her now wrestling name, which is Snickerdoodle.
Yeah,
she's Snickerdoodle. All of them have wrestling names arbitrarily, except the oldest. But yeah, sure, she's Snickerdoodle, and she fucking fell in love with Bayley. Like, the instant she saw her, she lost her mind. And like the entire rest of the weekend, she was just going through my WWE network, watching everything Bayley has ever done, and found out that SmackDown is going to be in Birmingham on the 20th of next month, I believe. And she's begging me to take her, and it's close to her birthday, so I'm probably going to get her tickets and take her. And it's just like blowing my phone up, like, hey, what else can I watch? I want to watch this. You like Sasha Banks? I heard you want, and just blowing my phone up. 9 years old. She's 9. And so I had this great picture of my dad sitting on his lazy boy with my cousin, or with my niece, Snickerdoodle, on his shoulder, and my son, Sammy Sinister Jr., because I'm naming him after the lucha tradition, sitting in his lap, and they're all sitting there just watching wrestling, just mouths open. And it's one of those, like, that's why I watch wrestling. That's why wrestling's important to me, because I can share those moments and those feelings. That, in what world would I ever have anything in common with a 9-year-old girly girl diva that lives in Florida with my father, her grandfather? In what world? But that little girl loves me because of this. And they love me anyway. I'm their best uncle. They tell me all the time. Oh yeah, I'm the best. So, and it's just, that's why and in the comments, guys, like, that's why wrestling's important to me, because when it's good, and as much as we rag on the subject and we rag on wrestling, it just has to be enjoyable. And when it's good, it transcends entertainment, and everybody can enjoy it. So I just want to set it up, because my niece fucking fell in love with Bayley. I bought her a shirt. I haven't given it to her yet. I'm going to wait till I take her. I'm going to take her to SmackDown up here. She's going to lose her fucking mind. I'm really excited.
Did they like all the or they just like the girls?
All the girls just liked the girls. All of them pretty much. Jack just likes colors, so he'll just sit there and watch it as long as something's moving. He's like a cat. But yeah, they like the girls for the most part. They'll watch it when the boys are wrestling, but they want to watch the girls. I told you, my dad fucking loves Samoa Joe. My dad watched way back when, but he fucking loved Samoa Joe. So for Father's Day, I got him Samoa Joe t-shirt, which I'll put a picture up here one day whenever I figure out the editing on my pre-edited videos. So, yeah, that's why I watch wrestling. That shit's awesome.
Okay. You know what? Let's get into the meat of the show here. And by the way, Coco could be joining us within the next 10 to 20 minutes. That's according to him. We're going to start out with some tag team action. You have the Authors of Pain taking on Ryzen and Nails. These two guys, I think these guys wrestled about a week or two ago. There wasn't much to this. The Authors of Pain pretty much dominated the entire time. It was a squash match.
Dude, I fucking love the Authors of Pain. They are quickly becoming my favorite tag team.
But they just destroyed Ryzen and Nails. They powerbomb. I like when they powerbombed them together, like hit them up against each other, then powerbombed them. Then they did that finish maneuver. It was like the Russian leg sweep / lariat finisher.
Yeah, I dig it.
Then they start beating up the jobbers again. This brings out TM61. Now, this right here is where I think they fucked up.
Okay.
You know, I like the Authors of Pain. I like especially that Paul Ellering's with them. I like that we don't know anything about them. There's mystery. We don't even know their names. You know, we don't even know who's who. We just know there's the one that's got a tattoo on his arm and the other one who doesn't. And they like to beat people up.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah, so they start beating up the jobbers, whatever. And of course, the good guys come out to make the save. What I really think should have happened is they should have just brawled and had Team 6-1 kind of knock the Authors of Pain out of the ring. Or if you didn't want to do that, have security come out and separate the two. But I think they fucked up because they had the Authors of Pain beat up TM61. They hit them with, like, they knocked out straight up, just floored one. And then they gave the other one that sidewalk slam / boot to the head combo. And I was just like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Because if you're going to set up a match between these two, you kind of want to give the audience a sample of what's to come, but don't actually give it to them. Because now it's just like, okay, here comes TN61, and they got their asses kicked.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think of those two scenarios, security should have separated them because that doesn't make either party look weak. But my guess going into it, they're more than likely going to have TMZ64 or whatever the hell they're called come out and another time take out the Authors of Pain, and that way it's like a 1-1 scale going into the show. But maybe I could be wrong. There's only one more week. No, that isn't going to happen. They just got a match, don't they?
Yeah, they're going to have. Well, they got next. I mean, they've got next week to either say.
But there's not a show on Wednesday, isn't it? It's just going to be the Saturday takeover.
I think they're going to have a regular show on Wednesday because remember, I think it's taped.
Okay, if they do have a regular show,
so they'll have a show on the 17th, and they won't do. They'll have a show on the 17th, and they'll do the actual special on the 20th.
Okay.
So yeah, technically they've got one more show to either go, you know what, we're going to fight each other, blah blah blah, or whatever. But I really wish
they have a match because, like I said, I really dig the mystique, the moveset, the power, and the look of Authors of Pain. Like right now, Vaudevillains are still my favorite tag team, which sucks because they're not really going anywhere. But if they keep doing stuff with these guys, I fucking love these two guys. Their look is great. I really judge a lot of wrestlers by their entrance music, which we'll get into later when we get into the Bobby Roode segment. But until then, well, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, I judge wrestlers by their entrance music, and they have fucking sweet-ass sledge metal. And it works. Their look is great. I'm loving these guys. I hope they go places. I hope they stay in NXT for a while because God knows NXT needs them.
Yeah, they do need them.
Yeah, no.
And just with TM61, I just think you don't want to do that to a team you're trying to build up now that you've gotten rid of American Alpha.
Yeah,
you got rid of Enzo and Cass. The only other credible tag, the only credible tag team that you've got together right now are the champions, the Revival. That is it.
Well, so, you got Gargano and Ciampa, you got the Revival, you've got TM65, 72, Rock and Roll Express, whatever the hell they're called, and then the Authors of Pain. They could probably do with one more.
Yeah, I really think that would help out. Next, we go to the second match here. We had Andre Cien Almas taking on Angelo Dawkins. Yes, kids, he's still employed by NXT.
Somehow.
This was another short match. This was roughly about 2.5 minutes here. Dawkins got the LeBron James gimmick. Cien Almas, former, he still is a luchador, just no longer in the mask.
I kind of wish he was in the mask.
Yeah, I kind of wish he was too.
Clearly.
The only good thing about this, he unveiled a new finishing maneuver. Now he had been doing a running double knees, but luckily somebody said, "Boss, I really don't buy that as a finisher." So they're like, "Okay, we'll give him a DDT." They're like, "Seriously, a fucking DDT? He's a fucking luchador." Okay, we'll fancy it up a little bit. We'll have him put him in a hammerlock and DDT him. Like, fuck it, okay, we'll take it. We'll fucking take it. But anyway, so he gives him...
We talked about how the double knees just wasn't a very believable finisher.
No, it wasn't. That's a normal fucking move. That's what the fuck it is.
It's a cool spot, but it's not a finisher. Having a lucha finisher, I think unfortunately when you get labeled a luchador, you kind of get pigeonholed into your finisher being some type of crazy off the rope shit, and it doesn't necessarily need to be. That's one of the reasons I really like Pentagon Jr. is he's a luchador in pretty much every sense of the word, but he's got that package pile driver. I'm still not a huge fan of the finisher. Maybe they can tweak a little bit more, but you know.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm not trying to pass judgment on Almas just yet, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's out of his element right now because he was a last luchador down in CMLL, and I'm like, okay, is he trying to wrestle more like the U.S. style? Are they clipping his wings? I mean, because right now he's just not.
Are you talking about Pentagon Jr. or who are you talking about? Sorry.
With Andrade Cien Almas.
Oh, Almas. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not working for me right now. I mean, it's just not. I mean, I'm not saying I hate
not there at all.
No,
it's just fun to watch. So.
Yeah, and then by the way, I know maybe it's kind of a cop out or kind of a bully thing to do, but Angelo Dawkins. Can I just ask this question? If you've been training at the Performance Center for at least, 2 years now, and you've barely made any appearances on television, why the hell are you still with this company? I'm legitimately asking. I mean, it's one thing if you're coming in, you're trying to learn the ropes, trying to learn the WWE style, or if you've never been a wrestler before and you're making that's a different thing. But the guy has been on the roster for at least 2 years that I know of. At least 2 years, and the biggest thing that's happened to him is when he had that breakup with Sawyer Fulton.
Yeah,
that is it. And he's got a LeBron James gimmick where he wears 2 headbands.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
I'm just like, I'm not necessarily opposed to the LeBron James gimmick because it's current, it's happening. So, okay, fine then, we'll roll with it. But dude, fucking show me something. I mean, if NXT doesn't have any confidence in the guy, why is he still there? I mean, go look on the goddamn Cruiserweight Classic. Sign some of those motherfuckers.
Hey, speaking of which, are we going to talk about the Cruiserweight Classic? There's only 2 matches to cover, so I figured maybe we could knock it out with this.
Well, we could, or we could just do a separate show on it. I'll tell you what, when Koco gets here, he'll be the deciding vote.
Gotcha.
All right, but, again, but anyway, afterwards, okay, Bobby Roode comes out, and he's condescendingly clapping.
Stop right there. Don't go any further. Okay. Just hold your breath for a second. Okay, guys. I like Bobby Roode. I think he's a pretty good guy. I think he's a pretty fantastic wrestler. Pretty cool thing going, okay? His theme music is the worst thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
That's the one? No, that's awesome.
His theme music is to the ears what pepper spray is to the eyes.
Come on,
it offends me. It offends me. It is painful, and I fucking absolutely 100% love it. It is so bad that I adore it.
Oh, yes.
It's the fucking worst thing I have ever heard, and I cannot fucking get enough of how much it hurts my ears.
It's stuck in your head, doesn't it? All you can hear
it's the worst thing I've ever heard. It is so bad, and I love it. Like, when it comes on, I visibly get ill. Oh, God, fucking, it's just the best. It makes me hate him so much more. Anyway.
But he comes out to his glorious music.
Oh, my God, so bad. If you haven't heard it, guys, just go to YouTube, type up Bobby Roode NXT entrance music, and then just go ahead and get in the cotton because your ears are going to bleed. Or you're going to try and shove a pencil in there to get the sound out of your ears, and then you'll need the cotton for the blood that comes from that.
All right, so he comes out there and, is condescending clapping towards Almas, and he talks about, like, congratulations on the win. Of course, congratulations, but, not on the win. I mean, it really wasn't that, tough of a match. It was a little rough around the edges, a little sloppy. But, hey, you got the win. That's all that matters, right? I was talking with William Regal, and we both agree that it needs more star power. In fact, it needs to be glorious. And he says, you're at Takeover Brooklyn, you're going to face me. And then, he says, I know that you don't exactly understand English, so I'll say it slow. People aren't paying to see you; they're paying to see me. And then
that's true, though.
That's it.
100% true.
No, that's it. But here's my problem with this. Okay, understand English. I mean, unless he cannot, I think doesn't Almas speak English?
He speaks perfect English, as far as I'm aware.
Then why the hell does he not say anything? If I'm just wrestling a match, some guy comes out and says, "Oh yeah, you beat some jabroni, ooh, big deal." Well, you know what? I just came out here to tell you that you know what. You're going to be wrestling me at the special event coming up in 10 days. So, way to go. Oh, I know you probably don't speak English, so I'm going to say this. Like, why is he not why does he just sit there and fucking take it? That's what I want to know. Why is Elvis just like, okay?
Yeah, he could have just been like, he could have said something in a bunch of Spanish and been like, in case you don't understand Spanish, I'll say it again real slow. But we're not writing NXT.
No, we're not. And I was just like, look, I mean, I understand that, they're actors, they're all playing a part here, but kayfabe-wise, I'm not going to let some motherfucker come up and get I mean, it's one thing if you just bump into each other or whatever, but I'm not going to let some motherfucker come up into my ring, get up in my fucking grill, and tell me, oh, yeah, you beat some guy, woo, whoop-de-doo, you beat a guy anybody can beat. You know what, we're going to wrestle each other, and people aren't going to care because they're there to see me, not you. I'm going to be like, excuse me, sir, I doth protest.
Yeah.
How dare you be so... How dare you be so inconsiderate? This is, I tell you, sir, if you continue this tomfoolery, I shall roll up my sleeves and even remove my cap.
Your mother has never seen Star Wars.
Yes, bully Dan.
Bully.
That's what I would do. But okay. Let's see.
I don't disagree, but that's about all. That's all I got to say about that.
But next we go backstage to Austin Aries. He's talking about how he wants to be on Takeover Brooklyn.
You mean the cardboard cut out of a human being?
Yes. William Regal agrees, and he says that he's agreed, to book him against somebody that he's been avoiding. He's going to book him against No Way Jose. And I'm like, well, I know this shit was coming, but...
Yeah, we all knew this was coming. But here's how I felt about that. Years and years and years ago, they made the Haunted Mansion movie. And the Haunted Mansion's my absolute favorite ride at Disney World. Fucking love it. And they're like going and they're playing the music, grinning gross, and showing you the mansion. It's like, the Haunted Mansion coming out November 15th. And I'm like, yeah! Starring Eddie Murphy. God damn it! And that's how I felt about this. I'm like, we all knew it was coming, but I was like, yeah. Austin Aries would be battling it back to Brooklyn. Yay! Against No Way Jose. Fuck. Really? Really?
Actually, believe it or not, there was actually talk for a while that they went ahead and they were going to go ahead and send No Way Jose up to the main roster. I actually heard there was legit talk of that, and I was like,
"There's nothing against. I think he's a decent wrestler, but people at NXT will legitimately cheer for anything. They really will. The people at Full Sail, for whatever reason, cheer for anything. And
let me tell you something.
He's never going to leave NXT.
I'm going to tell you this much right now. Here's my prediction. You know what's going to happen to No Way Jose when he goes up to the main roster? Just look no further than Adam Rose, because that's exactly
he'll be worse than Adam Rose.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm calling it right now. He will not even get a. He won't even get a pre-show match on a pay-per-view.
You know what? You're probably right. He's going to get like a big debut. He'll go out there and dance. You'll have JBL going, I like it, Michael. He just likes to have fun. And that's going to be about it.
And then the crowd will be like, who's this? Why do I care? I don't know why I went Jersey for that. I guess I just people from Jersey.
But actually, I'm actually glad you went Jersey because the next match actually featured Jersey's very own representing the 201.
This match was bad.
Liv Morgan taking on Billy Kay.
It was bad.
Well, all right. After pretty much, soon to be all four horsewomen are about to practically been all called up.
Yeah.
Emma is out. She got called up, but she's out with an injury. And then now you've got Dana Brooke up there. And the only two credible women you've got left are, and Alexa Bliss and Carmella are already up there. You've only got two. The only two credible women you got left are facing each other at Brooklyn for the women's championship. I was interested to see how the hell they were going to handle this with the women's division. So they brought up
same here, and honestly, I think Billie Kay in her last match did fine. I kind of like the gimmick. I'm digging her entrance. I think her work's okay. This match was not good.
I personally blame Liv Morgan. I don't think Liv Morgan's that good.
You think it was Liv Morgan? I don't want to say that it was Liv Morgan yet because I want to get one more match with Billie Kay to see, okay, did Billie Kay fuck up? Because there was a bunch of botched spots. Bunches.
They both kind of look nervous in my opinion. But by the way, Billie Kay, did you ever play Mortal Kombat 3?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I think it's Sindel or Cinder or whatever.
Sindel.
That's who she fucking looked like in that get-up.
A little bit. I can see it.
Yeah, but the Aussie wins with a boot to the big face, which I kind of like that. I kind of, she's got long legs. It's like,
they're playing up the whole femme fatale thing, and it works. And I think she could do something. I think she could be somewhere.
Yeah. And by the way, I really feel like Liv Morgan needs a gimmick overhaul. This whole Jersey thing just doesn't do it for me because
you can't be the Jersey girl when you have Carmella in the same company as you. Because there's no reason for it to exist.
Because she's the princess of Staten Island. I don't know if that counts for
New Jersey and New York are the same place. People from New York just put all their garbage in New Jersey.
Okay.
Sorry, New Jersey. I actually love New Jersey. I'm probably the only person in the entire world that loves New Jersey. I have some weird affinity. Even though I grew up in the South my entire life, I have this weird affinity for New Jersey. But you just can't have that gimmick. It's the same fucking gimmick. It doesn't work.
I mean, it's just, it's like, okay, you're from Jersey, so the fuck what? It's like, I have no affiliate. It's like, you're going to have to give me something other than, yeah, I'm from this place.
Yeah, I don't like gimmicks that are just like, I'm from so-and-so. Because even Enzo and Big Cass, their whole thing isn't that they're just Jersey boys and just from New York. Carmella's the princess of Staten Island, but she's fabulous. She's the boss. I don't like the Shining Stars for the exact same reason. I don't like that we're from here. Because if you're not from somewhere that's outside of the United States, it's not going to work. And even then, if you're from somewhere outside of the United States, you're a heel. You're just going to be a fucking heel.
And some people are like, well, what about these people from Texas? I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. People like Steve Austin was from Texas. Had no problem saying he was from Texas, but he was more than just, I'm a Texan.
He was the Texan rattlesnake.
Yeah, there you go.
For the most part,
then we get to some more tag team action here. We have Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano taking on Tucker Knight and Patrick Clark because NXT turned on the random tag team generator machine.
Yep.
And that's what we got.
Which, remember, that's how the Revival and Blake and Murphy both started. They just went, boom, Blake, Murphy. Okay, y'all are a tag team. Oh, shit, y'all are the champions now.
Who knows? Maybe Lightning will strike twice. Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano, but I love the fact that they played up their match that they had at the Cruiserweight Classic. I do like that. I do like the same.
Oh, that was great.
Does anybody smell a swerve, or was it just me?
You think he's going to turn? One of them's going to turn on the other?
Yeah, because right now it's like I keep thinking maybe Ciampa is going to realize he can't really deal with it, and like if I was going to book a turn. If I was going to book a turn, I would have them go through the match like normal. But if they don't win, Ciampa turns on Gargano, and then you've got a feud insta feud right there. If I was maybe trying to pull like a swerve, I would actually have Gargano maybe be the heel, and Ciampa be the face.
I think that'd be the better choice.
But because I'm just saying because it would be opposite of what you would expect. Or I definitely do what nobody would expect is they don't turn on each other, and that's what's going to shock everybody. They actually stay a tag team.
Yeah. We can do our prediction show later, but do you think Ciampa and Gargano will beat the Revival? They've already beat them once.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think they've got a strong enough tag team division right now because, I mean, okay, if you take the belts off the Revival, are you going to have them go and win it again to be the first ever three-time tag team champions?
I have a feeling they're going to keep it on the Revival for a little bit because here's how I see it. Eventually, the long-term 6-month thing is they're gonna put the belts on, and this isn't just because I like them. They're gonna put the belts on the, on the Authors of Pain. They're what the Ascension is, but better, and I think they're bigger, like just physically bigger than the Ascension, so they can be that monster heel that has the belts for a long time until the underdogs beat them. But the Authors of Pain are gonna have to blow through everybody to get it. So I genuinely think they might put the belts on Ciampa and Gargano to have the Authors beat it off of them. Because what I would do, and this is how I would book this, I would have Authors of Pain blaze through everybody on the NXT roster and tag teams and just obliterate people. I would have them show up for one match on Raw or SmackDown, and just have it like, oh, these are the big coming up in NXT, and then have one of the random shit tag teams on SmackDown or Raw get obliterated by them, so they can go back and be like, look, we beat the people that are supposed to be on better than us on the main roster. We want our belts, and then put the belts on them. That's my long term. So I do think they'll put the belts on Ciampa and Gargano.
That's a really good idea. That's actually something I would like to do. The match between with Ciampa, Gargano versus Knight and Clark wasn't that. I mean, it was just, just another squash match. They're just trying to keep the momentum with Ciampa and Gargano. Speaking of that, okay, real quick, Tucker Knight. I'm going to make the same argument with him as I did with Angelo Dawkins. I think he's been there for at least a couple of years. I haven't seen that much out of him.
I couldn't even tell you. By the way, someone sent me a direct message saying that YouTube is not working, so they may not be able to hear us right now. If you can hear us, let us know in the comments.
I'm looking here. Hang on. No, I just messed with it. No, I still got volume.
Okay, I'm trying to pull it up on YouTube, and it's not even pulling up.
I'm just listening to it unless it just cut out like the last 10 seconds here. But
okay, and maybe we're good.
I'll just keep moving on here. And Patrick Clark, he actually, he's been wrestling house shows. He's been wrestling like this patriotic gimmick, kind of like a Donald Trump supporter gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be like a misogynist too, and to me, which I'm like, I wouldn't sadly go with that gimmick because it's going to be irrelevant after November.
Yeah.
And speaking of politics, I don't know if anybody's picked like a presidential candidate yet, but I'm going to make a big shocking reveal who I'm voting for this November. See, it came down to two. My first pick was Cobra Commander Megatron.
It's a good one
because I like their platform of total world domination. But I got to thinking about it, and I said, you know what? World domination sounds good on paper, but who's going to pay for it? That's right. Joe and Jane Sixpack. That's who's going to pay for it. You and me paying for total world domination. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to take a pay cut, to go invade Liechtenstein. I don't care. No. So after thinking long and hard, I went with, I decided this November I'm voting for Giant Meteor. It's got a very anti-human platform. It's going to come in and wipe us all out as a human race. We're going to basically hit the reset button on the planet. Now, most people are like, well, what happens if Giant Meteor doesn't fulfill his promise to wipe out all life on planet Earth? And I'm like, well, I guess we're going to have to deal with another fucking 4 years of people.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm voting for Cthulhu because why vote for the lesser of two evils?
When you can have the whole thing, baby.
Yep.
Yes. So there you go. That's my shocking revelation. That's who I'm voting for. Giant Meteor 2016 ended all this fall. All right. Next, okay, let's get to the main event. You know what? I'm going to let you just take the lead on this one. Samoa Joe versus Mojo Rawley. Usually when I hear like Mojo Rawley,
I mentally check the fuck out.
I'm just like, my brain's like, you could stay here if you want to, but I'm out of here.
I'll take the lead on this one, guys. I'm with Booms on this one. Whenever I hear Mojo Rawley, my brain goes, oh, yeah, focus on something more important. Well, what's more important? Anything that isn't Mojo Rawley. I'm going to give him some props on this one. He had a decent match, and maybe that was Samoa Joe brought it out in him, or maybe he just really busted his ass. But he kind of showed off in this match, man. He did some really good work, and the bell rang, and he came flying out of the corner and just was wailing on Samoa Joe the entire time. The entire match, it looked like maybe he could have won. We all knew he wasn't. That's what makes wrestling good, though. It's like, well, he could potentially win right here. But he just, he was attack. He never really slowed down. His cardio looked really good. He's still sloppy. I'm not saying he's a great wrestler by any means, but he looked a lot better. So if he brings this up to the main roster with him, maybe he can have something. So it got down to it. They're going back and forth for a long, long time. Mojo Rawley's on top for the majority of the match. Finally, he slips up once, which looked good because when it's like he only lost because he slipped up. Samoa Joe was able to counter it, got him down, tap out, 1, 2, 3, wins. Samoa Joe, still the monster. After that, he keeps attacking Mojo again. Boom, Shinsuke Nakamura music hits. And this I kind of like. This was really different because I expect a pull apart or expected Nakamura to come and save him. But Nakamura is fucking weird as shit, so that didn't happen. Nakamura just kind of, swaying and doing his weird magic ritual shit coming down to the ring, and security comes blazing past him and starts getting on Samoa Joe, which is good because that makes Samoa Joe go into this match look like he's a real danger. Like he could legitimately cause harm because usually you wait until they fight and whatever. They're like, no, we need to get down there before Shinsuke gets there so that he doesn't hurt him because he could truly, truly hurt him. So they're pinned him in the corner, and Shinsuke just has charisma bleeding out of every fucking orifice in his body, and he just fucks with Samoa Joe. He's just literally, there's a big pinned up bear in a cage, and he's just poking him with a stick. He steals his nose like he was an infant, and Samoa Joe's selling it so great. You can believe that he is genuinely furious, and there's just sweat pouring down him. And I don't think anyone looks as angry as Samoa Joe does. Like when it comes to looking angry, Samoa Joe is one of the best. He just is vile and angry looking. And then it goes off on that. It goes off with them, the refs trying to get Shinsuke out of the ring and holding Samoa Joe back, and then that's where it is. So that's NXT, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, did you know how at the top of the show I said that sometimes you were seeing like the heels act like faces and the faces act like heels?
Yeah.
The second incident, I felt like, okay, here's the security pulling. They're pretty much all ganging up on Samoa Joe, trying to keep him from hitting Nakamura. Nakamura's going over there and just kind of fucking with him, and like he grabs his nose, and then he slaps him in the face. I'm like, that's kind of a heelish move right there. You got, security holding one guy and he can't defend himself, and you got this other guy knowing that he's got a free shot and just taking cheap shots at the champ.
Yeah. It didn't come off so heelish to me. To me, it came off more that Shinsuke doesn't give a good goddamn and isn't worried about Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe's only worried about hurting Shinsuke. That's how I took it, at least.
By the way, Samoa Joe had the best response to that. Like, he tweeted out, like it was like him in the pool and says, "You can keep my nose. I'm coming for your soul."
Yeah, take my nose. I'm coming for your soul. Like, good God, oh damn, he's gonna eat that motherfucker's soul.
All I need is like a picture of Ron Burgundy, be like, "Well, that escalated quickly." All right, let's do some comments here and let's get out of here. Maybe we should do a cruiserweight show here. I'll tell you what, let's get through this, and I'll tell you what.
I might have some company coming over, so I may not be able to do a cruiserweight show, but if we can, I'll just give our thoughts real quick. Then we can do comment time, give some real quick thoughts, and then dip out.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you what, let me get through the questions here, and let's do then we can just mention like the Cruiserweight Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Okay, let's see. Well, I'm just looking for questions here. By the way, we'll give shout-outs to everybody who's joined us. Crazy J. Ray, Andy Paps, Edward Mohan, Army Ann. There's you. Shit. I mean, there's just a ton of people in here. In fact, hang on.
From what I see, there weren't a ton of questions.
All right, yeah, I'm trying to do two things at once, which is not a good idea, especially for me because I haven't. All right, Andrew 1000, that's formerly known as Andy Paps. He said that TNA Impact was better than NXT.
That might very well be possible. I'm not going to discredit that at all.
He says, "Sorry, I'm not sorry. You're." Let's see. I'm going down.
Hey, first-time caller, long-time listener.
Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
I'd like to know where that no-good piece of shit Dave Koco is.
Well, you know, it's really funny you say that, caller. Me and Boom Booms were just talking here. We were thinking, have you ever seen Tajiri and Dave Koco in the same room together? We haven't.
No, I have not. I think Tajiri is Dave Koco. Problem solved.
New job, and it is taking up all his time. And Booms, wouldn't you think it is real convenient that this is happening at the exact same time as the WWE's Cruiserweight Classic?
Indeed, very perplexing.
Well,
we're not saying it's the same person, guys. But there's a chance it's the same person.
Are we done the review, or what?
Yeah, we just finished it up. We're still live, though.
Oh, okay, we're live?
Oh, yeah, we're still live, brother.
Sweet, sweet. Yeah, NXT was pretty good, guys. I give it a win. Glad I can make it for the review.
Okay. Well, one thing that we haven't talked about, I guess we need to touch on, especially since you're now here. What did you think about this week's Cruiserweight Classic show?
I absolutely love it. I've actually loved the show. I love the event. I hope that this is the future of pro wrestling. I always joke around that. You know, now that I'm working 2 jobs and having family drama, Vince knows I'm not watching and makes the product better. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I like it a lot. I love the announce team, and I love Ibushi. Ibushi is absolutely fucking to die for. Absolutely love him.
Oh, the guy who's wrestling is Grand Metallic?
I don't think so. I think he's wrestling as Ibushi. I could be wrong. Did they change his name?
You talking about who wrestled this past week? This week. The Masked
Ibushi.
Yeah,
I don't know if he wrestled this week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Ibushi. Jesus Christ. Ibushi's awesome. They better not have changed this.
Wait a minute. You're talking about the Japanese guy who just died?
No one just died.
No, that's Hayabusa. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Ibushi. Kota Ibushi. Wow. Why is this?
Kota.
Yeah. He went against Cedric Alexander.
Yes. Okay.
What the fuck are you doing, man? Why are you fucking with my head, dude?
You said
I come on the show too late. I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. And you're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, oh fuck, maybe I don't. And then I have to fucking Google it because I'm a punch-drunk fucking idiot.
Kota Ibushi. You're like Hayabusa, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Now, you had Metallic, Tajiri, and then you had Cedric Alexander versus Ibushi. Ibushi's absolutely amazing. Alexander was absolutely amazing, and they just had a great match, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, and then afterwards, the fans signed Cedric, and Triple H came out, and I don't know, I just thought it was a really special moment. I enjoy this a lot. I'm a huge fan of cruiserweight wrestling. It's my favorite style of wrestling.
I mean, this is here's another interesting fact.
All right.
I just found out, like today, as a matter of fact, that the Cruiserweight Classic just surpassed NXT for most watched. Like right now, it's like the number 2. It was the number 2 most watched show on the WWE Network. The number 1 was Stone Cold Steve Austin's interview with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I heard it was awkward.
Yeah. The second one is, of course, the Cruiserweight Classic, and the third is NXT.
That's awesome, man. So hopefully, you know, we get some more cruiserweight wrestling. It's my favorite style. But I always thought they should do that with the network. They should have like this shit all the time. Like, because the thing is, when you have the Cruiserweight Classic, when you have NXT, I'm gonna be honest. You throw in Monday Night Raw and SmackDown within 24 hours of when it airs. And you know I'm not a pro WWE guy. Mm-hmm. I would probably pay $30 a month for that. If you had original content like the Cruiserweight Classic, like NXT, and you also... That and the cartoon is absolutely amazing. I don't know. Like, WWE at times is complete shit, but the network is pretty amazing.
You know, and that was another thing. I was watching the Cruiserweight Classic, and I thought it was in like some kind of fucking parallel universe. I had to look down the bottom hand corner of my screen. I was like, yeah, it says WWE Network on here. Is this the same fucking company? Because I was watching this stuff. I love the match between Grand Metallic and Tajiri. I think that, I mean, it was a good match. I kind of like the passing of the torch. Tajiri still looks good. I mean, he's like in his mid-40s, and he can still go.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, too, like, with Tajiri, too, it's weird because, like, if you live in Japan, you see him more as a baseball celebrity. than you do a wrestler these days.
Mhm.
So it's kind of fucking weird because in Japan he wrestles every now and then, and he used to have, I don't know if he still does. If he does, he doesn't run enough shows. He had like a comedy type fed, like kind of like Jakara on steroids. And then he just became like a baseball celebrity.
I heard he actually did stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Only because like the thing is, a lot of people just do like become celebrities and can do anything in Japan once you're a celebrity. But yeah, I know him nowadays as a baseball celebrity. But yeah, it's great to see him out there. Plus, I'm a huge fan of Tajiri. I really am.
I kind of wish he would hang around a little bit more. I was kind of like skeptical about him getting past the first round, but I'm kind of glad now because that was a good match he had.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it, and not only that, but hopefully they sign more and more people, and hopefully there's more and more shows.
And as
So it
far
would be cool, like on a network, have shows for everyone, have shows for cruiserweights, have shows for, I don't know, it's just, I wish they'd follow what the UFC network is doing. We're just going, like, just go and get New Japan's content, go and get TNA's content, go and get, that's it, just become a legit network, and it would be amazing, you know? And I just hope that it happens. And even if you don't go get TNA, New Japan, and all these guys' content, make it where you can compete. You know, it's just to get the Cruiserweight Classic. You could bring back Shotgun. You could bring back Attitude Era. And just have it. I don't know, just the network has so much potential to be great again. And I just hope they keep it up, you know, and I think the network is absolutely amazing, and I just think it can grow there. Because I live in Japan, so I don't know if I could watch it live because of work, but I would pay a lot more money for the network if they just threw on Raw and SmackDown quicker. You know what I mean? And, you know, with Hulu and all that, you could probably work out a deal. Plus, the ratings are going down to shitter. You know, it's just, I hope they do this a lot more. But, you know, because the thing is, as soon as we heard the network, this is what we dreamed about. We dreamed about the Cruiserweight Classic. Now, granted, we didn't name it that, but an all-Cruiserweight show would have been amazing. And that's, I don't know, it's just, if you're going to be the ESPN and the monopoly of wrestling, then give us everything. You know what I mean? Just, and you have your own network. Like, you should be on house shows. All that shit should be on there. You know, because like right now, Ryback is like, oh, I'm a great wrestler. If you saw me on the house shows, well, we can't really call bullshit on that unless you have the network and you put the house shows on the network, you know? So, I don't know. The Cruiserweight Classic I really enjoy, and Ibushi is my pick to win it all, and he's absolutely amazing. Anyone that's seen him wrestle before.
Speaking of Ibushi and Alexander's match, some people are saying match of the year candidate. Do you think that's fair?
Yes and no. I think it's fair to say match of the year candidate. But even though wrestling has been up and down this year, I think if you list match of the year candidates and you just focus on that, it's been a really good year. Like, it's one of those things, I think it is match of the year candidate, but also I'm running into the problem of, I think there's too many match of the year candidates. There's a lot of great matches from around the world. I mean, you got the G1, you got Wrestle Kingdom, you got, well, let's just say New Japan, Ring of Honor, you know, a couple WWE NXT matches. I just think there's a lot of match of the year candidates this year. And you know, they're saying it's the new era, and, you know, TNA is trying to rebuild. Ring of Honor, you know, it's just, I don't want to sound like Jeff Jarrett, but if they just don't fuck this up, there really could be a wrestling boom. And I believe in my heart of hearts, I've been talking to a lot of casual fans, and I think you have to stop using casual fans as an excuse to suck. Because when I meet a casual fan and we watch pro wrestling, because I'm that dickhead that's like, no, we're going to watch pro wrestling. I don't like pro wrestling. Okay. What's your point? But when I fucking watch with casual fans, they like the same things we like. So I think it's one of those, stop using casual fans as, you know, just as a bullshit fucking excuse for you sucking. Period. End of story. You know, casual fans don't like Roman Reigns. Casual fans, to the best of my knowledge, because here's the thing. Just imagine. I know it's gonna be hard moves. I don't know where Sammy went. Sammy's like, fuck this. I ain't fucking being on the show with Dave. But just imagine, if you never watched pro wrestling before, or you're a casual fan and don't give a shit. To me, maybe it's because I think cruiserweight wrestling would be a lot better. I think that's what I would be attracted to, because here's the thing. Think about something you don't like, but some people do like. Gymnastics. You know, the Olympics is going on right now. You know, what do you give a fuck about in gymnastics? You're sitting there, you're watching it, and you're like, oh, I'm watching gymnastics because everyone's doing it. It's the Olympics. You don't give a fuck about a split or fucking, ooh, look how nice his fucking wrist is when he fucking does a boppity boop. That's a technical term. But if you see a motherfucker flipping around the goddamn bars like a fucking madman, you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I like this. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird situation because it's like, oh, fuck the internet fans. Oh, fuck. All that matters is the casual fans. I don't think the casual fans like what you think they like, Vince. You know, if you never watched pro wrestling, I think you would be more interested in an Ibushi match than a John Cena match. If you knew nothing, if you had no idea what was going on. And I think the only reason, I don't think casual fans like what WWE's putting on. You know who I think's like to put WWE on? People that hate wrestling fans. Who's like, oh, fucking Mark, stupid fucking smarks, oh, I'm so smart. I think that's your key audience that you're doing it for. Why not just be like, hey, let's put on the best goddamn product we can and see what happens. And I hope, you know, it goes that way. I mean, you still get Roman Reigns this Monday night, but besides that, it's even John Cena has improved within the last year. I don't know. Maybe I'm being positive Petey. Maybe it's because I'm seeing Ibushi and, you know, all these New Japan guys and all these indie darlings show up to NXT and SummerSlam. You know, to me, it looks amazing on paper. Maybe it's just time for good wrestlers to be pushed to the top.
Well,
I don't know. I'll probably regret saying all this, but that's what I'm hoping, sir. That's what I'm hoping.
You know, I really, you know, if I'm talking to people at home, if you haven't seen the Kota Ibushi Cedric Alexander match, I think you really owe it to yourself as a wrestling fan to check it out. I really feel like it's something you could show a non-wrestling fan and not be embarrassed to show them. You can say, this is what it's all about, and there's hardly any backstory. There's just a tournament. These are two good wrestlers. They go at it. And by the way, I will say this. This is kind of like part of Topsy-Turvy land here is Cedric Alexander. Jesus Christ. I mean, I hate to say it, but it used to be, you know, WWE would drop the ball with guys, and these guys would go to other feds and, you know, make and you know, become stars and make something of themselves. This is just the opposite. I think Ring of Honor really dropped the ball with Cedric Alexander. So he leaves Ring of Honor, goes to Evolve, gets his foot in the door with the WWE, comes out and does this, and puts on this phenomenal match. And what I loved about the coverage of this is afterwards is here's a grown man. There are actually two men that just put everything out there. The crowd was appreciative. They were on their feet. They were clapping. And here's a guy who's, you know, storyline. He's been defeated. You know, he's out of the tournament. He's going home. People are saying thank you. And it's actually, and then they start chanting, please sign Cedric, and start doing this chant, and he's legitimately reduced to tears. He is, and I was like, this is why I love wrestling. In fact, not only that, the COO, I mean, Triple H himself comes out, shakes his hand, takes it to the back, gives the thumbs up, and on Twitter, I don't know if it was trending, but on Twitter, on Facebook, you could see the hashtag hire Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, and I just hope the fans get behind great wrestlers. I hope, like, for, you know, when it comes to pro wrestling fans, I hope we stop acting like experts and this is how it's done in the business. And, you know, I hope we stop being DC fans, basically, and be like, no, we want good wrestling. You know, like, I think the best thing WWE has ever done is convince everyone they're in the business. And when you're convinced you're in the business and you're part of it, then you have to blindly defend it. where if you're just a fan, which everyone should be, and not in the business, including you, indie wrestler who wrestles in front of 10 fucking people, then the business will improve and it will be better. And you know what I mean? Like, you know, like if a movie sucks from Marvel or DC or a franchise that you love, Star Wars, no one goes, oh my God, you're not in the movie business. You don't know what it's like. Even those in the movie business don't do that. It's just, I don't know how that WWE got that propaganda of, well, if someone doesn't like our product, that it's no. Demand better of them. You know, there's power in numbers. There's just, you know, and I'm not saying don't have disagreements. I'm not saying don't like what you don't like. I'm saying don't be a phony-ass motherfucker that pretends to be in the goddamn business and ruining something we love for everybody. So, is Sammy coming back? Because I got to go soon, brother.
I don't think he's coming back. So I guess in the meantime we'll stall for time here by saying, you know what, Dave, I just got back from vacation, and it's summertime here. I'm looking for something to read before I go to bed. Can you recommend a good book or something for me to read before I go to bed?
Thank you. If you like vigilante justice, if you like dark books,
Boy, do I.
September 22nd, Operation Freak Show comes out. I'm making a universe, so to speak. There's over 60 books in this series. It's really dark. It's basically about a bunch of assassins / hitmen who turn vigilante and kill pedophiles. So it's like a Disney after-school special. It's really dark, has a lot of naughty words, has a lot of violence, but hopefully you enjoy it. Definitely pushes the envelope, and I hope that it's successful enough to make Amazon happy, and Amazon's happy, then my publisher's happy, and then I get to keep writing this universe. Because I'm going to write it no matter what, but it helps to have a publisher have your back. Self-publishing's a bit hard. So, if it's only $6, it's not a Kickstarter, you're actually going to get the product. It's weird because I'm like, hey dude, I wrote a book, and they're like, oh, can I put $100 towards your Kickstarter? No, but you can put $6 to buy in the book, and they're like, oh, we live in a Kickstarter generation. You're like, no, I actually finished the book. You can just buy it. Oh, but I wanted to fucking. So hopefully, we sell enough copies, and then I could feed Boom Boom, my son Boom Boom.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's just my pride. It's everything to me, and hopefully it does well. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you can still buy it. It's okay. Nah, I just hope to sell enough copies to make everyone happy and continue writing and creating stuff. So, hopefully. So, Sammy just sent me a message pooping. So I don't know if he's going to come back. I don't know if he's a fast pooper or a long pooper, what the situation is. But breaking news, Sammy leaves KocoSports to poop. So, and I'm looking forward to the Samoa Joe Nakamura match. That's going to be fucking amazing, folks. And when it comes to pro wrestling, not me and KocoSports, I got a lot of family drama. I'm hoping to do a lot of great stuff in September. So just see this as pre-season for that website. But go there, support it. Go to KocoSports.net. And Booms, we got to talk off air so I could steal your soul.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right, you want to wrap this bad boy up?
Yep, I want to tell everybody in the meantime, check us out at KocoSports.com, KOCOSports.com, Toronto for Combat Sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Also, check us out at ProWrestling.me. That's right, not .com. It's ProWrestling.me. We got news and gossip. We've got forums on there, blogs, 100% uncut, uncensored, along with our archives for all our shows. So if you missed any of our shows, you can go back and check it out. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're cranking out shows quite frequently now. Let's see, we've got Raw. We got the Raw review in the can. We got the SmackDown review in the can. Of course, you've just seen our thoughts and reviews on the NXT/Cruiserweight Classic shows. We're hoping to have a TNA review, a Ring of Honor review, and of course, we'll start all over again with WWE on Monday. So be sure to like, subscribe to us again on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So this is Booms, a lot for Sammy and Dave Coco saying the boom just went bang, and I am out.